the simple kill counter UI that is available in the UI package. So let's have a look at the simple kill counter UI. We're going to drag that into the main scene here. So I just have the example shooter melee main scene here. Just set that up here. Now we're not quite done. As you can see, it added a couple of UI elements. Now obviously these are just stand-ins to show you how you might potentially build your UI. So I don't expect you to be using these in a real game. But it has a concept of counting your own kills and displaying that to you, and has the concept of showing everyone in the server and their kill count. But before we can actually get this part to work properly and this part to work properly, we need to add one more component to our player. So here I am using the example character here. We need to add one more component, and we want the kill counter player. The kill counter player list, which is this, the kill counter player text, which is this, and the kill counter UI are all located in here. The kill counter UI is like the source of truth. That's what everything reports to. And you'll be able to tie into the when that is updated and be able to trigger other things like updating this list or updating this number. That's exactly what this is doing. If we have a look at this, there are two components on here that I just listed here. The first one is this kill counter text. This kill counter text automatically ties into the, where is it? This one, the kill counter UI. So this kill counter UI really can live anywhere in your main scene. It doesn't have to live here, but it shows you how you can even find it if it's nested in other things. So this kill counter UI component, there should only ever be one in your entire project, but this will automatically tie into the available delegate that is here. So whenever this updates, it will update the text. And the same goes for this component here. This automatically ties into the kill counter UI, and anytime the kill counter UI is updated, it will automatically update this as well. So the other part is the kill counter player is anytime you die, it will say who killed me. If it's a player, then we're going to add +1 to their kills, and that reports to the kill counter UI, which then in turn sends those updates all out to all your various UI components. So let's see it in play. So let's go ahead and build and run. Okay, we have our games running here. So I'm going to go ahead and start the server, join it as a client, move myself out of the way. And it's hard to tell. In fact, let me go in and comment out the debug window. But you can see it shows 0, 0. Now that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it'll make a little bit more sense when I join here. You'll see that a random connection ID has been assigned to these characters. So since I don't have player names assigned to them, so if we look at the connection ID, see these player names are empty, it's just going to get the connection ID and display that. So if you want something that looks a little bit nicer, you're going to want to have a connection ID. So let me run over here and change teams. Okay, I have changed teams, and now I can damage the player. So we're going to kill this guy. And you'll see that my kill count has been upped by 1, and it shows everybody else on the server that my kill count's up by 1. And this will just keep track here and do that as well. We can do the same thing over on this guy and see that he updates as well. And we'll just kill him, and you'll see that my kill count has upped by 1, and the universal leaderboard here has upped by 1 as well. So you can see how you can implement a very easy kill count UI. Now this particular list here it's just a big long string. So I give examples in the documentation on how you can actually extend and tie into this, so you can build out your own custom UI. So for example, if you wanted to mimic the final kill count at the end of a screen with nice little boxes representing each player, you can do that as well. But let's show how we can actually get the player name to show up there. So the very first thing that I'm going to do just for convenience sake is I'm going to open up the client connection and I'm going to say, give myself a random player name when I start. So let's go ahead and build and run, and you'll see that when this is built, it's no longer going to display that random ID. It's going to display my random assigned player name. And there you go. You saw for a very split second where it couldn't find the player name, so it displayed that ID. But then as soon as that player name was populated, it showed that here. But something else that's very nice here is you'll see that both of these lists are identical. It shows in the exact same order for everyone. So that means there's complete sync between all players everywhere. That list will look identical to from the server to each individual client as well. So let's actually dive into some of these components a little bit more and see how we can configure some of these. A lot of these are auto-assigned. Like for example, I purposely showed here that I don't assign the text, just saying that this player, this kill counter player list will automatically find the text component here. There's nothing to set in here. Things report to this. There's nothing to configure there. The only thing left that you can really configure here is this. So I have automatically ticked here, just display owner only, which means it's going to display only my kills. So for example, if I wanted to auto-populate a player list here, I could actually assign the kill counter text to each individual populated item, untick this, and automatically assign through code the target ID here. And actually this is going to be changing to say target connection ID instead of target net ID. In fact, let me do that right now. Okay, there we go. I updated that. But here you can actually put in a connection ID, and that refers to this value right here, that item right there. I'm going to reset that. But that connection ID represents an individual client connection. And so you can put that in here and it will track that particular client connection's kill count and will update the text counter according to that individual client. So you can see how you can dynamically populate the list and take advantage of this as well. Hopefully you find this useful, and let me know if you have any questions on Discord. Thanks. Bye.